team this morning. Welcome back to Good Day Columbia. Well, research shows a very strong link between how much you know about your health and your lifespan. This last week of November, we wrap up our Type 1 Tuesday series with education. Joining me this morning from Palmetto Health's Diabetes Education Program, Minnie Cleveland and Roberta Jupp. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And you have quite a spread here, which we're going to talk about all of this and why it's so important as it relates to diabetes. First, for those out there who may not know about the Diabetes Education Program, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, at Palmetto Health, we see kids, we see adults, we see any person that has the diagnosis of diabetes. We see some people who have the diagnosis of prediabetes. We see gestational diabetes. So we see every person that needs education regarding diabetes and self-management.
Gotcha. Now, let's talk diet for a moment as we have this huge spread here. Roberta, talk about the dietary importance for someone living with diabetes.
Well, what we eat definitely affects our blood sugars and our overall health. So what we do is we make up an individualized meal plan for each patient, and that is according to their height and their weight, their activity level, what medications they might be on. And then we educate them about what they should have at each meal. And we don't tell them exactly what foods they should have at each meal, but we give them a structure, and we'll tell them you can have a certain amount of each type of food. And then we allow them to have the foods that they like. We do encourage whole grains, and we do talk about the importance of serving sizes.
Is a diet for someone living with type 1 or diabetes in general a lot different from someone who doesn't?
The person with diabetes is actually eating very healthfully if they're following their meal plan, and it is a way that all of us should be eating.
Gotcha. So we could take some things or two away from it.
Yes.
And to prevent, any health complications, I'm sure. Does it help having visual aids like this? Because I think a lot of people get confused in terms of portion control even, and how much is too much. So does it help when people come in and they see the spread and like, hey, I didn't know I could have that much?
Exactly. The children especially have so much fun playing with the food models, and the patients can put the food on the plate that they like. I'll ask them to pick a meal that they like and put the foods on the plate, and they just have a lot of fun, and they are surprised sometimes.
Gotcha. Miss Minnie, from a medical standpoint, what do you see, or what's your main focus when the patients come in or the family members come in?
My main focus is making sure that they know how to handle the acute complications that's associated with diabetes, particularly treating high blood sugars, low blood sugars, the importance of physical activity as it relates to the blood sugars, knowing how to use their meters and knowing what to do with those numbers from the meters, knowing how to administer their insulins and just all those acute.
And the day and age we live in, things have changed. I mean, things have gotten more advanced. We had a father and son who they both are living with diabetes, and each of them take their insulin in different ways. Are you seeing a lot of people asking for those alternatives, or what suits them best?
Yeah, we see a lot of, particularly kids, they like pumps, and kids are so tech savvy, so they do well with the pumps. And so there are pumps, there are pens, there are syringes, of course, there are little ports where you can attach to the skin and inject in the port to put the insulin in. So there are a lot of different ways of administering the insulin.
Gotcha. Well, Miss Minnie Cleveland and Miss Roberta Jupp, thank you so much for joining us this morning, folks. Diabetes Education Program at Palmetto Health. If you need more information, we're going to put that on our website at WACH.com. Appreciate you ladies coming in and joining us for Type 1 Tuesdays.